Welcome 239 Uncensored Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we're running around the studio today. We've got all kinds of cool music, cool sound effects. The police are coming. They're chasing Shannon. Shannon is run in here to escape from, I think, the sheriff's office.
No. They know I have a prescription for everything.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Do they? That's interesting that you do have that. And what's going on with Shannon, the lovely Shannon Livingston? What's going on with her?
It is my favorite kind of day. It's overcast. Someone's been sitting in my seat. I don't like
a lot of people have been sitting in your seat.
I feel like Goldilocks, or the three bears, I guess.
Yeah.
So I love today. It's overcast. It's cooler. It's a little break from the normal tropical. Like I don't like heat, and so my body likes it, and I need to live here, but I really like the cooler weather, so this is a nice break.
No, that's good. But I would just went outside and it feels pretty damn hot to me.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I don't know if it's too bad, but maybe I'm just running around. I'm working today. You're leisurely working.
Yeah, I'm juggling multiple projects. I'm in here talking about my creative project while I'm selling warranties on my phone.
Old Republic, we have to throw that in there.
Old Republic, home protection, please don't fire me.
Yeah, please don't fire. No,
just because
if I own the company, I definitely have Shannon because she knows everybody in town.
Well, I do, but that doesn't mean that they like me.
No,
I always say that everybody knows my son and they like him better, so they really should have hired Joe.
Yeah, Joe's an awesome guy.
I know. He has to make up for me.
How did you create somebody so cool?
Because that's what I would have been like had the world not fucked with me. If I didn't get all, fucked up by every horrible thing that I've been through, I would have been a nice person too.
I think you're nice. You're nice. I really do think you're nice. Now, we've got a lot going on. You brought in, do you want to show that later? This crazy shit you got going on?
It's not crazy. It's energy. And so just occasionally I'll just test you. I ran out to my car, out to the Tiger Jeep. You were very nervous that I wasn't going to make it, but I ran out.
That's how they find water in the ground.
Shannon
has got these.
They're divining rods.
They're coat hangers.
These are
with fucking straws on them.
That's right. But it's picking up Diana's energy, I think, or mine. It doesn't.
It's coming around to you.
It doesn't like you.
How does this work?
So
this is really cool.
So you just hold the straws and you hold them up like about shoulder level so that they're moving on their own. And then we have a lot going on in here, but it'll pick up energy. And so usually if you're if you think of something good, something that makes you happy, then they'll open up. And then you don't have to move them on your own. And then if you have like negative energy, you think about something that makes you sad or angry, then they close.
Let's be serious about this. Okay?
So whenever Joe is in a bad mood, I get these out and he gets so pissed off.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm pointing the divining rods at him.
Right now you got something positive going on.
Well, it's focused on me again. We have a lot of like electronics and other stuff going on in the room. But if we were out in the hallway, we'll do it out in the hallway. Maybe we'll add some extra footage. And you can see that you can hold it or someone else can. And so if you tell me to think of something that makes me happy, then they will open up, and then something that makes you angry or sad, and they will close.
All right, let's do a test.
But you have to hold them up straight so they can move. Okay. And out just a little bit. Like, there you go. Right now you're on like the light. That's what energy it's
Are you going to have a fun weekend this weekend?
I am. Look at that. See,
I'm
thinking about
that's true.
Yeah.
Look at that. I didn't do anything. Honest to God, I didn't do anything.
I want to go see the cherry blossoms. Well, and also if you're in a room you just hold them, and let's say you start thinking about that object over to the left, it will start to go over to the left.
Diana, our producer, are you going to have a fun weekend? It's actually going over there.
Well, that is actually your energy and your attention going to Diana.
It's just doing it.
So isn't that fun? So, but we'll do it like in a room where there's not so much going on, and you can see it'll also pick up water.
Is Shannon going to smoke weed this weekend?
Yeah, they should just spin around. Like, I'm surprised they didn't take off like a helicopter.
And I'm not kidding when I do it. So I'm holding it in balance. And when you do that, now I don't really know how that works.
You can feel the energy. It just moves on its own. You don't have to move it.
So, and Victoria's got this down. She says she's trying to contact other life forms, guy. Yeah, I don't know what this is. So yeah, but this is really cool.
But farmers used to use it to find water.
Right? Is it
just like a stick, like a Y-shaped stick? It's the same concept. You're just picking up energy around you and it really paying attention to it. So whether you're sending the energy out and it picks up on that, or you're doing it. When I used to sneak up on my dog, my little Bichon, it would just like open up really, really fast. She had awesome energy.
Yeah. So, I think that it's very important that you have something like this, because I think I know why Joe would get pissed.
Well, I'm always telling him he needs to not so much be positive, but to be very aware of his thoughts, because I do believe that what you think is what you feel, and what you feel is what you manifest. And so whatever you're sending out into the universe, not just your behavior, but also your thought process and your feelings, that's what you're attracting back. And so if you expect to have a complicated, difficult day, that's the day you're going to have. If you expect to have a great day, and you'll have the same obstacles happen to you, but if you have a good attitude, it might be an opportunity or an adventure, more of like a puzzle to solve. And if you have a shit attitude, then it's just all going to be overwhelming and no point to it. I
agree. I think my best fan, my mother, right, she go to like levitation, right? You're levitating. Yeah. And I think when the mind reader came in, the mentalist came in and spoke with me and talked to me, he was good. Wayne Hoffman, he was good. He kind of like gave me a whole different perspective. Now I kind of figured out a couple of his tricks, but I believe there's people that do have that ability to, kind of hone in on somebody. Do you believe in like actual mind readers, or people that like tarot cards and all that stuff?
Yeah, I believe that there's a certain amount of that, but I think that we all have that ability, which is really the point of the divining rods too, to show people you don't have to be born with a gift to see dead people or whatever. We're all putting off energy. And when you really become aware of other people's energy and your own, whatever it is you're manifesting and sending off, and whatever other people are, then you can avoid assholes more frequently.
Yeah. So Diana, from this point forward, make sure we get on our board here. Make sure we have the Twilight Zone, because I want to play that.
For all the weird shit that I say.
Yeah. Shannon starts getting off. We call that off the range.
Yeah.
No, but it's all good stuff. Show and tell is good.
When I started educating on cannabis, I became educated on a lot of other things like crystals and things that they're not necessarily my thing, but it's crunchy, or I call it hippie, like whatever hippie dippy thing they're doing. There's a lot of concepts out there. It's interesting to learn.
Stones and gems. Now I know we're kind of probably not going in order, but everybody is probably aware by now that we did have another tiger attack. I don't know if you call it an attack.
Thank you.
Is it really not fair, right?
An attack,
Shannon.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. Not an attack. This was another incident caused by somebody being where they were not authorized or trained to be, and so it is not the fault of the place. Their enclosure actually was modeled after our zoo enclosure, which, after the review of that whole Echo incident, was found to actually be beyond regulations as far as safety goes. So this was a guy that wasn't supposed to be in the enclosure, that came in during feeding time. And, stop trying to feed tigers. They bite your arms. Did we not learn 3 months ago?
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Fucking thing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So did this guy not watch the news or know what was going on?
Listen to our show, apparently, because we talked about it quite a few times.
Because we went down to Wooten's probably about 2 months ago. Gianluca, Eva, myself, Alex went down there, and we took an airboat ride, and we saw the tiger. This was after
they have two
the incident. Yes, we saw the tiger, and I'm like, I wouldn't go in there. I mean, they look like they're big kittens, but they're not.
Right. They're tigers.
They'll bite your freaking hand off.
Right. And
or your arm off.
They cannot really be trained. There's no reason for you to be in a cage like that. And I hope that we see, I know that Wooten's actually took these tigers on. I think the current owner inherited them and make sure that they're well trained, or not well trained, well cared for by the trainers or the caretakers, whatever they're calling them now. So this is not an incident where they have them just to make money off of them. But I'm hoping that we are phasing out tigers and other animals in captivity.
Yeah. Now, the one guy that was in there, I don't know if they were both in there, but one guy came in. I don't know how it was set up. So is one person better than the other?
Well, and so that does give us a lot of questions, because do you need to be in the enclosure to feed the tiger? That doesn't seem smart to me. I don't think
there's better ways.
That's a standard operating procedure. And if this other guy could have gotten in, does that mean something was left open where the cat could have gotten out?
Yeah, good point.
So I don't know how all of that is going to shake out. But as far as it just being, regulation size or whatever, or these cats being properly cared for or there for the right reason, all of that is good. But I did see Carol Baskin's husband, whatever this one's name is, this current one, her almost ex-husband, or before she's widowed again. He was saying something about, a full investigation, and these people should have their permit taken, and whatever your name is, stay where you are. We don't need you down here.
So he actually spoke up on this Collier County incident?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did. To, act like it was somebody being irresponsible other than the dumbass that had his arms bitten by the tiger. So it was not the establishment's fault. I think they're doing everything right. And I'm a huge critic of people having these cats in captivity. But, once you have them, you have to take care of them.
Yeah. Quote of the day: if you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough. Right? I mean,
don't get attached to your arms, because you're probably going to lose.
You're probably going to lose them. Exactly.
But at least this cat was not hurt. They were able to contain the cat, and they didn't go and, try to do anything to the cat after.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that happened in Collier County, and I used to work at the fair in a law enforcement capacity.
Not the freak show.
Yeah, not the
not like in one of the
So I used to work at the fair in a law enforcement capacity, and we used to really do a lot of work at the front gate. But over the last 10 years, that has really calmed down a little bit.
What do you mean calmed down?
People know not to bring weapons inside.
Well, they still have metal detectors at the entrance.
Yeah, but I think there some, depending on the times and things like that, they're a little bit more flexible. But when you have the carnival workers, better known as carnies, coming, right? We used to always go out and do checks, make sure that they didn't have warrants. And I think this guy, so to make a long story short, there was a guy that was arrested at the fair for getting in a fight, pulling out a gun, cranking off around, and basically threatened some people out there.
Well, but it's my understanding that he was not actually in the fair. He was in the employee parking lot. So so security did not fail in this situation. He was still in the exterior part of the fair, and he was there to see his woman, and he did not like what his girlfriend's boss had to say. And so he decided he was going to be a big badass and pull out his gun and fire it off.
Did he? I think his girlfriend worked for the fair, right?
Yeah,
we're assuming worked for the fair. You think he got fired?
I don't know. I mean, are you going to keep somebody on like that?
Well, I mean,
maybe
not her fault, but probably that company keeps that company.
Yeah, you think?
So, do you realize that back in the day, my goal in life was to run the flying bobs? That was the thing that goes around, and you could turn on the music and do the flying.
Why was that
was my
goal?
Goal in life when I was probably 10 or 11. I'm like, that's what I want to do. These guys are cool. They play the music, and I want to, I run the ride.
Right.
And my really good friend, since passed, Bud Gilmore, just a great guy. He owned the fair.
Oh.
So I had a direct connection to running the flying bobs. I somehow decided to go in the military, then, law enforcement, probably a little bit better track. Kind of worked out better for me.
Retirement package.
Yeah. Just think where I'd be right now. I could be in Ochopee somewhere, getting ready, setting up for the fair for the weekend.
Like a killer mullet.
Yeah, with a killer mullet.
Denim vest.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd have girls coming up to me all the time. I'd be giving out cotton candy. It just would have been a wonderful experience.
But so this kid is only 18. And already he has no respect for a firearm. You know, if you have a right to carry it, then you have a responsibility to do so responsibly. And that does not mean pulling it out at the county fair. And, you know, what is such a shame is Collier County and that board, whatever it is that's responsible for it, they work really hard and do a great job. It is a fantastic fair that they put on. And so I don't want anybody to feel like it's unsafe or, you know, it has gone downhill in any way. This guy was not part of it. He didn't even make it inside. And please do not hold that against the organizers of the fair, because they already had their ass handed to them with COVID. Yeah. You know, the first time around a couple of years ago. So go to the fair and see the pig race. I love the pig race. I love all the fried food.
Yeah, the fair and the fair board, they do a great job. The sheriff's office does a great job with security. Can they stop a numbnut for doing something silly like that? It's very tough.
But I'm always really impressed, like, with how clean it is, how organized it is, and I feel safe there.
Yeah, no, that makes us all feel safe. If you feel safe, then that's good. Yeah. Shannon's.
Although I did go, I'm not even going to let you say whatever you were going to say. I last time I went to the pig races, I was eating a ham sandwich. And then like halfway through the races, I thought, do they know? Like, can they smell the ham and that makes them feel bad? Like, does the loser then go to the ham sandwich stand? Like the slowest pig? Brought a ham, bring that little slow pig over here. How does that work?
I don't really know. It's almost kind of
farm to table.
Yeah, it's farm to table.
That's what everybody wants.
Someone's eating my brother over there. Could you please help me out? You know, what the heck, you know?
Have you ever been to the pig race?
Yeah, I've never been to the race, but I've been to the thing
where they judge the pigs, like the 4-H club.
The other one where they have to capture the pig and put it in a sack, like a little.
And they grease it up.
Yeah, but I guess they don't allow them to do that anymore.
You can't grease up the pig anymore? Too many injuries.
Well, they feel that it's kind of cruel and unusual punishment.
To massage a pig with some baby oil?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I'll take that punishment any day.
Yeah, things have changed. Yeah.
Not enough, though. You know, people still have not evolved beyond trying to pet tigers and whatever other stupid shit they're doing.
And we have a little criminals running around in Collier County. We have a 28-year-old lady. She was convicted on an active warrant for felony drug charges. And she's got, let's just read her list of charges, right? She's got 1 traffic stop, 5 felonies, 1 felony violation of state probation, possession of controlled substance, fentanyl, possession of controlled substance, methadone, possession of controlled substance, Klonopin, and possession of controlled substance, Xanax. It's a good thing they didn't check further, because probably she has more stuff.
Well, so I don't know how much she had, and I don't know what she was going to do with it, but clearly she has an addiction issue. And so I know that we have a very effective drug court here. And so do you think that she is going to go through drug court in Collier and maybe get treatment, or how does that work here?
Usually if you have a minor violation, they'll work it that way. She's 28 years old. You know, I don't really probation. Know. Yeah, so she's probably had a couple chances. I know that they usually try to do that on first offenses and kind of give you that walkthrough. But yeah, it's an addiction. But you know, sometimes the best and safest places for someone to be is probably locked away until they can figure it out. You know. Well,
they still have drugs in prison, as you know.
Well, yeah, and the county jail's pretty clean. I mean, people go down there and can they get their hands on certain things? Yeah, I'm sure they can.
At the county level, yes, but she's
in prison. Yeah,
she's going back to state, and she's going to do some time, I'm sure. It just breaks my heart to see that, you know, she's 28. She looks older than that. She's, you know, definitely has some addiction issues, and that's just going to lead to more of a life of crime and hurting herself and unfortunately other people.
Yeah, and then fentanyl, right? You get into the fentanyl thing, and that's just it just takes it to the next level, because you know, a grain of fentanyl, they say, can kill, 5 people. I don't know how it's broke down. It's probably, if you don't die from it, you're lucky that day, right? Because there's no really way to measure properly, and I don't even think it's a good idea to try to, right? But fentanyl's showing up in pretty much everything right now.
Well, because it's a cheap way to cut drugs.
Right.
But she also was busted with methadone, meaning that she didn't have a prescription for it. So somebody that is going through methadone treatment is trading their treatment for whatever drugs.
The real stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
She's giving them too. So they're, the problem of addiction just continues.
Yeah. No, it's tough.
But she's out driving around, I'm sure, high on this stuff too. So I do think that drugs should be legalized. I'm pretty
just give people meth and let them
I didn't say give anybody anything, but drugs being legalized then allows us to treat addicts. And so if she's driving altered, yes, then she should be in trouble for that. If they're stealing, then yes, they should be in trouble for that. But possession itself, I don't think should give you a life of crime. And if we're not so punitive the first time, then, maybe she doesn't have a life of crime. We deal with the addiction. Hold them responsible for their behavior. And if they commit crimes, yes, absolutely charge. But I just don't think that all of the war on drugs, mandatory minimum, and all of that shit has helped.
Well, you don't really know, because if you didn't have it, we'd probably be walking around like a bunch of zombies and everything would be pretty fucked up.
But countries that have decriminalized have seen a decrease.
That's another one of your studies.
I'll bring that study in.
Please bring a study.
I actually sent you the study that I referred to last time to show you that I'm not full of shit.
It was Senate hearings.
What?
I didn't remember getting anything. You sent me some hearings.
No, I sent you the Forbes poll that showed that 56% of Republicans, and this was the poll done 3-4 years ago, whatever it was, at that time, believed in QAnon to some level. We were talking about like right and left fringe groups.
How come I didn't get that study? For some reason, I didn't receive it.
I'll send it to you again.
Please. I don't know.
But you can't. You're not supposed to ask about fringe groups. You can't even have that conversation anymore. It used to be that we couldn't talk about race, right? Like we had a big problem with racism, but don't talk about it. And so now we have, I think, a problem with these fringe groups politically, but we're not supposed to talk about those either. I don't know why. Yeah. Don't talk about the real problems.
I don't know a whole lot of that QAnon stuff. And I know that I take an educated research thought process to select my choice to be the president, right? So I try to take as much information as I can. Right now, we're in a current situation, and not to get into politics, but we've got President Biden, we've got Donald Trump. Donald Trump definitely has a lot of issues, and maybe not the best bedside manner, but I always like to refer back to the situation where it's like, okay, I got a doctor that's done 1,000 procedures, and his bedside manner sucks, totally sucks. Or I've got a nice guy over here that's done maybe 50 procedures. Which one do I want to, do my open heart surgery? Give me the guy that his bedside manner is maybe not all that great. And I want that guy that's done it, has the experience. When I say experience, maybe he doesn't always do it the shiny, fancy way, but he gets shit done. And we were in a lot better situation before we were in this mess here we're in now today. That's all I get to say. I'll stop it at that.
Well, and your opinion is your opinion and not the opinion of 239 Uncensored.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I do have this is my podcast, but whatever. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying right now, that's it. We can go on and on for that, and it's just my thoughts.
It's healthy to be able to share your thoughts. And I think it's great that we don't always have the same way of thinking, and that we can discuss
you will think like me,
right? Because that is so disrespectful to people to get the divining rods out, to expect them to believe whatever it is that you
believe. Do you believe Tim and everything he says?
Oh my gosh, I don't believe anything that you say.
Do you believe Tim and everything he says? Oh my God, look,
you're tilting the divining rods right now.
Oh shoot,
all I'm saying is if I go to an event, I would like to know, is my money going to go to a group that is supporting a fringe group of some kind that is anti-government or whatever? And if I get my picture taken with this person, is this going to bite me in the ass 2 years from now when their crazy views come to light? I just want to know what I'm getting into. You can think whatever you want. I just don't want to fund it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. That's why I would request everybody to educate themselves, like you said.
But how can we educate ourselves when people are afraid to have these conversations? And when I ask these questions, people block me. So it wasn't just the asking like the QAnon question. I asked a couple of my friends about articles that they thought were credible on transgender athletes. I have seen a lot of people expressing the opinion that that is not fair any way, shape, or form. With the swimmer recently. And so I know that I live in a very conservative area, and I thought, what's the information on the flip side of this opinion? What are the policies of different organizations, or what do they think, should be the cutoff point for transitioning time wise, or, just give me information. What do you think? Or what does the organization think? Because when I go to, let's say, the GLAAD website, there's nothing there. So I'm trying to learn about something that I'm not familiar with. And people are just blocking me, Tim. They're just like, well, who is this woman asking these sensitive questions?
And then that's the right of Facebook.
And I don't know what to do.
Block them out. Well, I not to give my opinion, but Joe, that is now Jolene, who's swimming on the swim team and winning medals, probably is not fair.
But what
women and men are different.
They're different. He transitioned before puberty? Is that the cutoff point? I feel like
if he was born with a wiener, he's a wiener guy. He doesn't, in my opinion.
So it's genitalia.
Well,
but what if they have ambiguous genitalia? Because that exists. What if, is it chromosomal? Because you can be considered female with Turner syndrome, and that is missing one or at least part of one of your X chromosomes. So, there are more in-depth conversations to be had about what the parameters truly are, how that makes a physical difference, when is that an unfair advantage?
Joe, who has turned into Jolene, is now swimming and winning every race because it's a guy swimming against ladies. It's not fair.
I
agree, can't convince me
that. But that is not, I'm not trying to. I'm saying that is not the black and white situation of every transgender athlete that is out there now or going to be.
It's the norm that I've seen. That people have now did change it over,
because we didn't used to have 4-year-olds that were choosing their gender.
Because if you are a female and you grew up as a female and you do not have the male parts, you are a female, then you should swim with the females.
You do realize that we have a lot more sexually ambiguous births than people want to think.
Well, it's not like I want, but just for the most part, everybody that I know,
and then that girl's a huge clitoris.
And I know a lot of people. It's except for a few, maybe. I know if they're a girl or a boy. I mean, we got to get rid of this. Like, it's a gray area. That's very rare. It's a gray area.
I think it is more rare than what certainly media conversation leads us to believe. It's a small percentage of the population, and we need to figure out what is fair. But I don't think
Caitlyn Jenner's Bruce Jenner with the fucking wig on. That's basic.
I don't know about that.
And an extra set
he's identified as a woman his whole life, and so maybe he would have been healthier, and everyone else would have been healthier. He's identified
himself as one. When he won the Olympics, he was one under Bruce, not under Caitlyn.
And so what if he would have competed as a woman? Then people would have said, oh, well, he never could have competed as a man, which is untrue because he did and did well.
Well, we all know what he's got for genitalia. We don't know what it looks like.
I haven't looked.
Yeah, but he's got kids. So we know what he's done.
See, now I'm going to send you pictures of ambiguous genitalia.
Oh, God. Just what I need. Just what I need. All right. Let's go on. Let's go on to research. It's just a very serious thing. And
this was a horrible
story. And
this just
makes me just upset.
But it doesn't seem to have any, like, there's no reason for it, right? Like, they're doing studies to figure out why this horrible accident happened.
Yeah. And what happened basically is there was trying to get the city, a little small city in Oklahoma, right outside of Oklahoma, 122 miles out. There's 6 girls. Yeah, there's 6 girls driving in a car. Just a terrible thing. And they somehow went through the intersection. They stopped and did a rolling stop. They went through the intersection. That's what the witnesses or people that were involved said. Mm-hmm. And a tractor trailer basically ran into these 6, I'm sure, wonderful ladies, young high school kids, and they perished from it. I mean, the reason why I put the story up is it kind of brings us back to, kiss your family, tell them you love them, and, remember that it can go really quick. And it could have been several reasons why she went through the stop sign. And we all know those roads out there that like there's never cars on them.
Right.
And you're like, she's probably driven that a few times. Right. I mean, she's a young driver. She does
that California stuff every time.
Like, and before you know, it's too late. Because I look at this is like a very similar intersection would be somewhere down on, 29 going across the alley or, maybe not the alley, but going across, down on 41 where you could just be kind of like dazed out a little bit. You just go through the sign and next thing you know, you're, six
lives lost.
Live.
Yeah, we've all done a rolling stop. And so we joke about the traffic here and how awful it is. And it is. And you have to be really alert on those main roads because people are confused and there's just no way around it. Just be patient and be forgiving. But yes, even when there's no one around, you have to really still be alert. You never know. Life can change in just a second.
Yeah. So it's real important, keep in touch with the ones you love and,
And can you imagine this poor truck driver?
That's what I was thinking about the same thing.
Because he lived through it. They said that he was uninjured. Yeah, there was nothing he could have done.
Sure.
And he had to have been there with them. Of course, he was on the scene before anyone else.
Probably for a period of time.
Waiting for first responders to come with six young dead girls.
Yeah. And this, you just think about the families. I had, and that brings up another thing. I had Jen and Bree on here yesterday.
Yeah, that was a great podcast. The Joey D.
Joey D Foundation. They're having a really big fundraiser that's coming up. It's going to be at the Naples Grand. It's on April 20th, which is a Wednesday.
420.
Yeah, 420. Date that you like. Close to my birthday, by the way. But Joey D is a great young man, right? So he went up to Tallahassee, was on a road unfamiliar to him, and for whatever reasons, he went off the road and crashed and perished at a very young age. So, in my conversation with Jen, she was just like, hey, listen, I didn't realize, how many people he impacted at such a young age. So that's what they want to bring out. The foundation, let's support him the best we can. It's a big thing. And, I was in here with her and it was really tough because it's like, I can't even imagine what something like that would be.
Losing your child.
For your child.
But then to take that, because I did see that episode, to take that pain and to be able to honor the good that your son gave to the world, because that's what the foundation does. Is,
right.
He got so much through sports, particularly, she said, and the structure of that. And, just the way that he was such a helper to others. And so to be able to honor that instead of just sitting in the corner crying for, 6 years straight, that is really, really admirable. And I'm sure that he's super proud of her.
Yeah, no, it's a sad story, but hopefully we'll get something out of it. And then, that's this thing really hit home this morning. And when you have kids and I got young daughters, and for something like this and just to think that, how much they, when you're young like that, how much you miss out on the rest of your life. Cause I look back at, what's been accomplished between when I was 16 and here today.
Totally different person. Yeah. Well, and you never stop worrying about your kids. Joe is 27 and every morning I make sure that his keychain is up on the key holder, that he made it home safely from work. And it's part of it. It's part of loving their little soul forever. You want them to be safe.
Yeah, all the time. And you worry about them. You just worry about them. That's all you do. So,
if you're doing it right.
Yeah, if you're doing it right. Anything going on this weekend? Real quick, we'll wrap it up. Anything going on? Anything special? Are you going to take a shower? That's the number one thing I want to know. I ask that every weekend.
No, I am. I'm going to take a shower. I am getting ready to MC the event for the Sunlight Home of Collier County.
You've been getting all kinds of awards and MC and stuff.
Well, I'm free. I'm free and I have an open schedule. I'm not afraid of the mic. And but
you do a great job.
But it's also at the Naples Grand. And so it's they do a great job with helping women and teens with being able to have their children and like their young children and get out of chaotic, traumatic situations so that they can build a foundation and take care of their kids and build their lives.
Awesome. It's good.
So that's what I'm doing with my weekend.
Yeah. I've got a few things. I had a little birthday party I'm going to go to tomorrow, and I'm going to, probably show some houses tomorrow. It's going to be really cool, interesting. From 12 to 3, I think we got like 3 places we got to look at. Sunday fun day. We've got a few things planned, but pretty easy weekend. I know Naples is, I don't even want to say it's getting close to winding down, but when April starts rolling around, people are starting to get a little bit. We're hoping to get, through the Easter weekend, and then, things will kind of ease up a little bit.
And then please go home.
Yeah, please go home.
Yeah, we've loved having you, but please go home.
We love your money. We love everything, but now go home. So
we would like to be able to go to our own restaurants again.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So anyway, anything else to add? Because I know that you always, have a little extra tidbit.
A little extra tidbit? No, I can't wait to use these rods on you later in the hallway.
Oh my God. That's scary.
Just your energy.
That's scary. 239 Uncensored. Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we're live. We're going to be back on Monday. Let us know. We're out.